Today on Drawbli.
Ben is drawing the cleanest portrait you've ever seen.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is, of course, better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with #Drawbli.
Okay, so right before I clicked record, Abby walked over to her desk and grabbed a notebook, and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm gonna take notes on your drawing.
I am, because I've seen the finished work and look at the difference. Well, not the difference, because I'm not going to put it on screen, but the difference between the way you render out skin and the way I render out skin. And the way you render out skin is much cleaner and less muddy.
Interesting.
So the drawing, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Your drawing is wonderful. But
so rude. So you want notes on drawing or rendering skin?
Yes.
Just a lot of blending.
A lot of blending.
That's kind of that's kind of the whole thing. So we'll be going through the whole process here, obviously starting with the sketch and then ending with some blending tips, I guess, for Abby, because
blending tips for
she's got
Abby.
her notebook here and
yeah, I haven't taken any notes yet.
I've been talking a lot about how I've gotten really into drawing more lately, so I spent a lot more time than I might normally on this drawing, because I really do think that, you know, the early stages are super important.
I agree. The early stages are very important, and they're often the most fun. Yeah, sure. The only other really fun things are like adding little highlights that make your piece really pop. The highlight stage.
Oh, the highlight stage
the other fun
is
stage.
Actually, I wonder if there's something there, you know, the little pieces of black and white there, the beginning and end.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So highlight stage and drawing stage equal most fun stage of creating art. Hey, what's your most fun stage of creating art? Tell us in the comments below.
My favorite part is when I delete it because it wasn't good enough.
You did that?
No.
Oh.
But sometimes when you're drawing like an aspect of the face, and I'm kind of doing that here, where I'm like fading out the opacity. That's something I do a lot, where I'm like, no, I need to kind of redraw this.
Yeah.
So I'll like keep the old one there as like a slight guide for myself. And like, let me get back in here.
I do that, and then my eyes get confused and think the faded out version is part of like my gradients for the finished version, and then I hide the faded out version and I lose a lot of my dimensionality and form.
Yes.
Oops.
Drawing hard.
I'm my own worst enemy.
Drawing has so many hard aspects.
It
so
does.
many difficult aspects.
But it's such a satisfying process. I mean, that's why we go back to it. There's many difficult things. Digging really deep holes with a shovel in the backyard, difficult.
I would say that's pretty difficult, sure.
Yeah, well, time-consuming, you know, and laborious.
And where are you going with this?
Well, you might stick with it for an afternoon when you're a child and convinced you're going to build a secret underground bunker bungalow that's going to be really cool for
our
you.
child that doesn't exist.
This is me, child. I did this.
Oh, you're the child, and you didn't make this happen when you were a child.
Well, me and my siblings dug a huge hole out by the shed.
A huge bunker.
It must have got...
What's a huge hole?
Well, it was going to be this whole underground room.
Of course it was.
And
but like, how big are we talking?
Like, it probably ended up being like a shallow grave for our enemies.
God.
I don't know.
Wow. Terrifying.
It got about that big. You could have shallowly buried a large dog in there, which we did not do.
Oh no.
But anyway, we did not get an underground bungalow, but that's okay. We made many outdoor bungalow-esque areas for ourselves.
Wow. I am fascinated by your bungalow creation.
Yeah. Well, that's all there is to it. Anyway, my point being, digging holes was fascinating for about as long as it took to get as far as we did, and then we gave up on that idea.
Okay.
Whereas drawing, you can keep going because it's still interesting.
Because drawing is more interesting than digging holes.
Okay, don't distract me. We're almost to the part where you do the skin, and I have to pay attention.
You are, like, because it's going to fly by super quick, and you're going to miss it all.
Yeah, so right now we have one base color in, and you're working on the eyes. Okay, that's good. Okay, we're choosing a base color. Okay, we're
No,
in the
I'm
lips.
still blocking out the colors here. I'm still, working on...
Do you block out all your colors first? Like to make sure they work
that's like
together?
part of my process currently, yes, where
Oh.
I work on these different areas, just
Like
for the base
simultaneously.
tone.
Oh.
Just for the base tone. I like to, it's called the flat color stage.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
So I'm trying to get better. Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Flat color stage.
Well, if step one, make good drawing, of course. Oh, you're missing the face painting.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it already happened. You already missed it.
That's a new layer. I saw it.
Well, you already missed the whole thing.
Airbrush new layer.
Oh my gosh. You need to put that down. I will make a list of notes for you later.
New layer. Oh, what's this? What's this?
This is me painting.
What? Why?
Why?
Why is it white? Why did you choose this color?
I chose white because there is a lot of light on her face, and I wanted to capture these lighter spots. No, I didn't. I used the exact same brush for everything here, which is a hard round brush.
That was a hard round brush, but it looked so soft.
I blended it with the blending tool.
Oh.
So instead of using an airbrush, and I did the same thing there, I erased a part and then I used the blending brush to just like blend it. I like hard edges, they make more sense to my brain, and then I can go over top of them after the fact and then make them like soft or airbrushy.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to make everything airbrushy, I can kind of control where I put it.
Oh.
And that just like works better for me, for my process.
Well, next week when I put out a video and it's a portrait that's almost finished, there's going to be a part in the middle where I erase a ton of my work and go back, and you'll see some of this workflow, and that's what happened.
Oh, you're like,
I have a portrait
I gotta go back to my notes.
Yeah, I know. I have a portrait I've been working on, and it's really muddy right now. Oh, nice highlights. Now, do the highlights stay this sharp, or do you have to, we fade them?
We fade them out.
What are you doing there? What are you doing there?
So now is the part of the process where I'm just over painting. So I'm just going over things, I'm getting rid of some of the sketchy lines, and I'm just painting over top of my painting.
Okay.
And now I'm going back and adjusting my lines, playing with some different colors for the lines, because she had kind of this like cooler blue-esque stuff going on there. So I tried to get some of that into my lines. But of course, you'll see me paint over top of a lot of these as we move forward.
How did you pick your values? Your hues, actually.
Just randomly.
How did you pick?
How did I pick my hues? Like
your hue for like the shading under her neck.
Oh, just kind of based on feel. I played around with it. Mm-hmm. So as you know, I like to do stuff on layers like I just did there, on a new layer, and then I fade out the opacity on it. Mm-hmm. So I'll do that first, and I'll be like, oh, is it warm enough? Is it cool enough? Yes, no, and then I'll shift it if I need to. Just playing around, not trying to be locked into the first color I choose. Mm-hmm. I noticed that her skin, from other than her face, like she has this bright light on her face, but it's not on her actual neck and torso or shoulders, was like a lot more dark, so I was trying to get that aspect there as well. There's so many things, like you'll like be working off of a reference and you need to make like a million different changes. There's also like a lot of proportional stuff that's weird with her eyes that I fix later. There's just like so much to do when you're talking about a painting, especially if you're trying to make an attractive person.
Yes, absolutely. That is really hard.
Attractive people hard.
Yeah, they are. They're difficult. Being true to somebody's likeness is very hard as well.
This is like a rake brush that I just threw on there and faded out the opacity on.
I think it's a cool texture choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I'm paying attention here on the lips.
The lips are still, I even had these lines in there to represent the three-dimensionality
Your
of the
form
lip.
And shape on those are excellent.
Thank you. I'm getting better slowly. We both are. That's the whole point of this YouTube channel. Slowly getting better, documenting our journey, improving as artists.
Wow. No, I've paid very close attention on this one.
And what have you learned?
I have learned to do a flat color to start with the skin.
You don't have to. I really like your process.
I have learned to do a flat color.
Sorry.
Okay?
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
You have to.
Yes.
Then you go in with red, big, hard splotches. And you put them where red would be, in the blush of the cheeks and the nose and around the eyes maybe, and the chin, surprisingly enough.
Maybe.
And then you fade those and blur those, okay?
You fade them and blur them.
Yes, and then you do a selection tool for the oh my gosh, you are smudging more. These are subtle smudges. What smudge tool do you use?
I have my own custom blending brush that I made.
Is it the Blendo brush?
It's the Blendo brush,
I've been using that a little bit lately.
Yeah, it's my own custom blending brush. I found some, I don't remember like how I think I saw a video where somebody was making one in Photoshop, and I was like, I think I can make that in Procreate. So I tried to make one that was similar.
That's cool. That's a fun project. Okay.
And now I'm fixing the face, so the proportions aren't so wonky.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing now? You're doing a whole red mask that you're going to fade out so she looks more like there's blood in her face and all that.
So I was noticing that the colors for the skin were just slightly off. I couldn't put my finger on what it was. I thought it was orange at first, hence why I did this. So then I played around with it, and I think I landed on something a little more towards the cool spectrum rather than orange. I think it ended up being more of like a magenta-esque when I was done with it, but it's literally like a 5% addition. It's really, really minuscule.
What big change would you like to see in your drawings that you can identify as something you want to see but don't feel like is in your skill level right now? Like, how would you want this to look if it looked different than how it does?
Better drawing, better shapes, better proportions, more appealing shapes. Basically everything to do with shapes.
Yeah, because your rendering is perfect. No need to change that.
God, no,
Your rendering is so good. Once you get those things down that you just mentioned, you're going to be so unstoppable.
Oh, unstoppable.
Yeah, because this is already so pleasing to the eye, your colors and the way you have made the skin. And once you start applying that to forms and appearances that you really like as well, I think we're going to see some really, really cool
the next
pieces
level
from
up.
You. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see those like big stages of change, like where somebody levels up. I feel like we've both been leveling up a lot recently.
I think so. And we were at a convention last summer, and there was a panel of artists, and we asked them, how do you know when you've leveled up? And one guy said, you know by how people respond to your art.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually cool. I like the idea behind that.
Because you can't see it in your own art sometimes. You're just like, I think it's good. People will tell you.
People will tell you.
So tell us, people.
Tell us.
And thanks for telling us.
And if you want to see some level up in your art, you know what'll get you there? Clicking that like and subscribe button.
Share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli, because art is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba. Why were we so like questioning? Like Goomba? Like
Goodbye?
yeah, like is this the end? Is it actually?
Is it ever the end? What is the end? Who is the end?
This is right here.
Oh.